Hello, my name is Dana Gattikin. I'm the Ag and Natural Resource Educator with Purdue Extension in Vigo County, and this is the Veterans in Agriculture Virtual Resource Fair. We'll be talking about funding, resources, and education programs specifically for veterans. We'll end our series with a panel of veterans who currently farm. So thank you for joining us.
This last part is a little more specific to Ivy Tech in particular, and I feel like it's relevant because Ivy Tech is a transfer partner with all of the universities, public universities in Indiana, in the state of Indiana. Ivy Tech Terre Haute specifically has an agriculture program. We're one of the few campuses in the state that have an agriculture program, and I do have some veterans enrolled in our ag program. In our ag program, you can earn associate's degree certificates and technical certificates. Some students decide to transfer their credits to a four-year school where entering that four-year school, they'll have the status of a junior, a two-year junior. Some of our certificates include animal agribusiness management, food science, drain systems, horticulture, landscape management, hydroculture, landscape technician, plant production, urban horticulture. We have associates of applied science in ag and transfer degrees, as I mentioned. Our graduates are getting very hands-on experiences in the classrooms. Not at this time, but the facility is relatively new. The facility has diesel equipment and also precision equipment such as drones and land. And I don't want to get too deep into the technical part of this because I really am not prepared to get into that, but it gets into more of a precision agriculture aspect as well. So our graduates are currently working, or our partners include Purdue, Indiana State, Illinois State, Trine University, Colorado State, and many more. As if you visit our website, ivytech.edu /agriculture, you'll see this information as well. Just very quickly, we can see the specific certificates and the number of credit hours and the number of semesters it takes to earn those certificates. We have technical certificates as well. A certificate typically is about 9 credit hours. So those certificates include animal agribusiness, for example. It's a 9 credit hour certificate program, which typically is about 2 semesters. So you could potentially complete that in 16 weeks, and then also potentially transfer said credits. Again, the campuses that do have an agriculture program in the Ivy Tech system include Columbus, Fort Wayne, Kokomo, Lafayette, Logansport, Madison, Marion, Richmond, South Bend, Terre Haute, and Valparaiso. You can get specific information by just clicking on the campus location that you're interested in, and you will see your points of contact, emails, and phone numbers, the regional degree offerings, and other student activities that are involved. So that concludes this portion of the presentation. I would like to open up this portion also to any questions that anyone might have or that Dana might have.
So I'll go ahead and ask a question, but if other questions are posed, they can be entered into the chat box.
Okay.
What are the hurdles that people routinely face when going through this process, and And then can you tell us about someone successfully navigating this process to like the ultimate degree?
Yes, what hurdles? So the hurdles, and we can start from the veteran's perspective, but then we can also speak about the hurdles from the spouse and the dependent. But from the veteran's perspective, the hurdles ultimately is the wait time from the date that they apply, which when you apply, maybe 15 minutes if you have all the information in front of you. You wait 15 to 24 days to receive a response. Uh, you receive a certificate of eligibility, and then you enroll in the program. So that might be a challenge with this, depending on the school that you plan to attend or training program, getting enrolled into that program. Some programs might expect payments up front. Um, at Ivy Tech Terre Haute is really my only experience. We do not expect a payment up front as we've worked with VA. We know when we can expect a payment, so we have systems in place not to require students to make payments up front. That might be a hurdle because after you are enrolled in said program, it may take another 24 days to receive your first, maybe a book stipend would be the first potential payment you would receive, or your monthly allowance for housing. Now, hurdles for the spouse or the dependent um, are a little more variegated. It just depends on the situation, especially if the veteran has been killed in action, is missing, or the documentation, their D-214 is missing, and the information necessary to complete the application. Sometimes I've seen the dependent, the children, they may not be in direct contact with the spouse vet or with the parent veteran, and it may be difficult to obtain the information due to a variety of reasons that every American faces. I mean, we have individuals who are incarcerated, we have individuals who are out of state, who are just out of touch. So those are potential challenges, but that's where your school certifying official can help you overcome those challenges. We do have ways where we can help you locate the DD-214 and order those in a timely fashion. So we should have all those resources for you at your chosen training program or facility to help you navigate those type of barriers or hurdles. In terms of the wait times with the VA, we're at the mercy of the VA. So my suggestion would be to plan ahead in terms of if the institution, research the institution that you're planning or the training program you're planning to attend to see if they require payments up front, and definitely just inquire if they accept VA education benefits. That's a very good question, Dane. I appreciate that.
Could you tell us a success story about the ultimate navigating of that system?
Of course. I mean, there's so many. Where do I start?
Pick your favorite.
Oh, wow. They're all my favorite. Uh, I mean, I guess I have to start with the most recent. I'm thinking of a student who is currently in our agriculture program who has I've helped successfully apply for the program. The student has successfully navigated the recent COVID-19 pandemic challenges successfully at our institution. The VA has adapted as well to rise to this challenge as well, to ensure that veterans are still receiving VA education benefits through this difficult time. So now is really the time to get started in school. So this student has overcome those challenges, is now taking courses that were offered face-to-face in a virtual format, and is anticipating on graduating in May. So you never know what to expect at any given time. And it was just great seeing this person rise to the occasion, adapt, and just overcome. Is great. I'm just sorry we can't offer a great graduation for this student. This is a tragic tragedy in itself that we won't get into. There are a lot of folks, high school students and college graduates, that are missing out on their day of recognition. So this is my first graduation in 12 years that I will have to have missed.
That I can't imagine being a student trying to graduate in these times.
Mhm.
There was a question in the chat box. If you are a vet from the Vietnam era, are
Yes.
there educational benefits available? It doesn't look that there are education benefits for those vets.
No, I'm going to go back. Am I still sharing my screen over here with
Yes.
the BEEP program? That goes back to the BEEP program. So if you, and this really isn't even a veteran from the Vietnam era. Occasionally there are programs available. You have to look into that school or institution. Now, our school has the tuition frozen for our veterans. And so there are some other built-in smaller benefits. Nothing as large at our school as coverage of tuition, but we do have a program at Ivy Tech specifically. Now, if you're a Vietnam era veteran, not to age you, but you've kind of aged yourself, if you are 60 years or older, you can go to school for free at Ivy Tech using our senior scholars tuition remission program.
I have several of my master gardeners who have gone through that and have pulled a huge amount of knowledge out of those, out of the agriculture department at Ivy Tech, and applied it to the gardens around the vegetable and production gardens.
Now, our senior scholars, they apply just like a normal Ivy Tech student. At a time when it comes to pay the bill, you just show your ID, and we will waive the tuition. You do still have a $75 technology fee, and you still have to pay for your books. But with the tuition waived, that is a tremendous savings. So maybe you could take advantage of that. So, I mean, there are resources out there for everyone. We want to see you get started, and then maybe there are resources at a four-year school where you can continue your journey through your academia.
So this is my personal curiosity. What is the maximum amount of time that a veteran has used GI Bill benefits within, I guess, the system? So for instance, could someone start with an associate and then progress through a doctorate? I have no idea.
I mentioned the path earlier in, I think, segment one. I mentioned post 9/11 and Montgomery GI Bill Chapter 30. Chapter 30, post 9/11, is called also Chapter 33. They can work together. So if you apply for Chapter 30 first, that didn't come out right. If you first apply for Chapter 30 and you exhaust 36 months, you can apply for Chapter 33 and potentially be eligible for another 12 months, giving you 48 months of benefits. Now, those months of benefits are counted down day by day, day for day that you attend classes. So if you're attending a 16-week course at a college, you'll have used approximately 4 months of benefits. You potentially would use 2 more months in the summer, and then 4 more months in the fall, totaling about 10 months of benefits for a year. So if you have 36 months starting out, you can see you have 3 years and some change, 3.5 years to get it done. If you're eligible for the extension using post 9/11, you've got another couple years in there. At our school, it just depends on the school as well. Um, this is a piece. If you are eligible for Chapter 30 and you're attending Ivy Tech, that's what you want to use, because the average pay for Chapter 30 is about $2,000 a month. Your average pay for post 9/11 Chapter 33 is about $1,200 a month. However, Chapter 30 doesn't pay tuition. That $2,000 a month goes directly to the student. Chapter 33 will pay tuition. Ivy Tech's tuition is so low that a student using Montgomery GI Bill could manage to pay the tuition out of pocket using their GI Bill benefits and still have money left over, comparable to utilizing post 9/11. Now, if you're using post 9/11 at Ivy Tech, it's going to cover 100% of your low tuition. My suggestion is use your post 9/11 where the tuition is a little higher, perhaps at like Indiana State, perhaps at other four-year institutions. Purdue's tuition is a little higher than Ivy Tech's, and that way your post 9/11 benefits are being maximized. Not that I'm trying to tax the VA any more than it's being taxed, but these are entitlements to the veteran to utilize. So it's my job to just, and this is my opinion, that's how you best utilize it. Instead of charging VA, our average tuition is about $2,000 a semester. At ISU, I know they're averaging about $6,000 to $8,000. You use your Chapter 33 at the higher cost institution, and it's just, I think it's a strategy to maximize your benefits, because you also have financial aid in the form of Pell grants, Frank O'Bannon grants, supplemental opportunity education grants, and other scholarships at any of the universities and colleges that you might attend. There may be grants in the community as well that you could utilize. I'm just saying that there are other grants, scholarships that you could utilize and save your VA benefits if that's your strategy to earn a master's degree, because you certainly could utilize your benefits to earn a master's or a doctorate degree. Another success story was a student that transferred from Ivy Tech after completing 2 years and transferred their benefits, their VA benefits, to Indiana State University, along with all the credits earned. So to me, that's a success as well. Now the student has since returned to Ivy Tech because, hey, we're awesome. But we can, it gets very complicated, and when we get into the more nuanced situations, that's why we like to meet each veteran where they come and how they come to us, so that we get more of a personalized plan for that person, to make sure that we're maximizing what kind of resources are available.
That completely makes sense, and I think that applies to college as a whole. Is like it's strategy and staging things to maximize the benefits that you get, and how much education, your bang for your buck. That makes complete sense.
We have our local Work One offices as well as a partner in this that also have training dollars. So we always want to utilize our local Work One offices in our state as well.
Did you have anything else that you would like to share with us?
I just thank you so much to the veterans for your service. Thank you for the family members that had to put up with them veterans while they were serving, even after they were serving. Thank you so much to the farmers out there who are growing them crops. We now know how important, more than ever, I would think, of what you do every day to make our bellies full, or to keep our bellies full, or to keep hunger off of us. I don't think we've been truly hungry yet, thanks to the hardworking farmers out there in America.
That
Goodness
is very true.
gracious. That's all I got.
All right. Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate you coming and speaking to us
Uh,
today.